Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Hello. Hello, I'm Coltrane. I'm the director. Thanks for being here. In a couple moments, I'm going to officially start this. Is anyone waiting for anyone else? This is for everyone. We're waiting.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she's usually late. People that may or may, I don't.
Okay, gotcha. And I told the cast that this is my MO, that I like to kind of just say, hey, are we waiting for anyone? How long are we waiting? Okay, so I think I'm gonna roll ahead with starting, and our people can come in. We have lots of space. But I'll take this moment to just say, this is about where we're gonna be performing. Up here, from the right to the left, my right, left, and then down in front here. So if you can't see, please scooch, get a little closer to the action. This front row, it might seem like it has stuff in there, but you can also come to the very front row if you'd like. Just a couple technical things. We invite applause. We invite some ums or some snaps or some whatever you're feeling in the moment. However you want to participate as an audience member is totally okay. You can do, applause like that. You can put your hands together, all that stuff. We will be doing a brief talk back immediately after. And by immediately after, I mean if you have to bounce, we're going to be doing a little bit of a grab chair and then come down here and we'll have a microphone. That'll give you a moment to excuse yourself if you need to really excuse yourself and get out of here. But in that talk back, I will ask some guiding questions to kind of prompt some immediate reflection. Okay, I'm going to bring up my notes now and go through our introduction for this piece. Okay, good evening. Thank you for being here. It's kind of evening. What you're about to see is a workshop of a brand new rock opera called The Trial of Henry the Navigator. This piece imagines something impossible. What if history itself could be put on trial? Henry the Navigator is often credited with launching the age of exploration, and Henry, that guy, is at its center. The question isn't what did he do, but what was set in motion because of what he did. In Act 1, which you will not see tonight, Act 1 is the prosecutor's case. This guy is the prosecutor right here. He invites witnesses. I invited applause. Come on. He invites witnesses that challenge Henry's legacy. Those witnesses and those stories connect his voyages to the early formation of the slave trade and race as a system of power. By the end of Act 1, the weight of that argument is super clear. In Act 2, you will see a portion of Act 2 tonight. You won't see the very beginning of Act 2. You won't see the very end of Act 2. But Act 2, just like in a courtroom, is all about the defense, right? So Act 2 is the defense, the argument for Henry. Well, he was after religion or exploration. There's historical context here. You'll hear about Prester John. He's mythic. He's a figment. He's not real. But he was this mythic Christian king that people really believed existed somewhere in Africa. So he wasn't real, but the belief in him was, and there was a religious motivation behind those voyages. So we're not putting a reversal on history, but we're just adding to that tension. And that's where this question comes up. Why are we still having this conversation about reparations in 2026? So what to expect tonight? This is a workshop presentation. We had about 10-ish hours of rehearsal. Some of the actors will have scripts in their hands or on music stands. The focus tonight is on the story, the ideas, and about figuring out how we're going to do this performance later on. All of these 8 actors are going to take on all of the roles of all the ensembles and all the different things that you'll hear about. But a little bit about who's who. So Henry is our central figure on trial. Sophia, raise your hand, is the defense attorney. She is his advocate, and her perspective is going to evolve. The prosecutor argues against Henry. I know, right? The judge holds an unbiased perspective of the court.
Yeah.
The bailiff is going to be our guide through various proceedings. He's a truth teller. He's going to cut through some of these arguments. Philippa is Henry's mother, whose voice was an influence that shaped early on what his vision was to become. Captain Gomez and Captain Catamosto are both being played by Esther. They were both explorers underneath Henry, and they both give testimony about their individual voyages. And then we have Antonia, who is giving voice to the African ancestors, and in Act 2 doesn't have a particular solo yet. But everyone is going to be in the ensemble, and the ensemble at large is shifted between the crew and the squires, who were willing participants in this slave trade. And then we have the African ancestors representing the ancestral voice that carries memory and consequence, and again gives voice to that question, what are we doing talking about this in 2026? Okay, then we'll have a short talk back afterwards. Your thoughts will help shape what this show becomes. So please, I invite you to warm up, get ready to share, get ready to talk. This doesn't happen without your input. Thank you for being here. And to begin, again, one last time, just if you want to scoot closer, this is where you're going to be sitting for the next 30 minutes. So just get closer, find your spot. All right, everyone take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and take 2 more at your own pace. All right, with that, please, everyone, give a 3, 2, and action, and then this will start. And
3, 2, 1, action!
Mrs. Lancaster, could you please tell us where Henry got the idea for his voyages of discovery?
My dearest Henry, you've come to say goodbye, but I'll live on forever, so I will never die. Make war against Ceuta, God will be with you. You're going to get your knighthood, your brothers and you. Into the wind, over the sea, blowing to Africa, our destiny. Stick to the let it begin. You were born to sail into the wind.
Remember Herodotus, you read when we were kids.
About Phoenician sailors and the things the ancients did.
Sailing from the east, down south of Africa,
Up the Moorish coastline to arrive here where we are. They read it in the stars on the day that you were born. Mars was in Aquarius, but I might just have that wrong. The point is, they predicted 2 things that you would do as valiant crusader and explorer of things new. Into the wind, over the sea, blowing to Africa, our destiny. Stick to the plan. Let it begin. You were born to sail into the wind.
Counsel for the prosecution, you may cross-examine your witness. This little duet you have written, a clever piece of historic fiction. This whole death scene is nothing but a myth.
Historic fiction's what this opera's about. It's every time you put words in someone's mouth. It's every single flashback in Act 1. So give yourself that reprimand.
Defense, you may now call your next witness.
Your Honor, and may it please the court, I have 2 captains here to give a full report. These 2 captains knew Prince Henry at the end, knew Henry's motives at first hand.
Captain Gomez, face the jury. Do you swear to tell your story? Tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Tell us, Captain Gomez, about the double curse, but could you please introduce yourself first?
I am Captain Gomez, going down in history. I will be remembered, so listen now to me.
Now, Captain, did you invent the double curse?
To be a slave, that of course was the first. The Moors had a concept, ancient in fact, that the second curse was to have skin that was black.
So you didn't invent the double curse. Sounds like the Moors must have gotten there first. 700 years trading slaves for gold bars. Then what were you after you traveled so far?
Henry had sent me to find Prester John, African priest, king of black Christendom.
Legendary kingdom, rich and well armed, to join forces against old Islam.
So trading was something you did in between, and the buying of slaves was pretty routine.
The trading of slaves didn't always work out. Many were killed in the ship's hole en route. And even the ones who made it alive, some of their stories send chills down your spine. There was the young black boy they took as a slave, sold him to a family in Portugal, raised as if he were family. They taught him to read. He murdered the family to set himself free.
I couldn't help noticing your reaction about the little black boy that killed the Portuguese family.
Well, yes, I mean, it sounds like they were a nice family. Teaching him to read, treating him as one of their own.
A child was kidnapped, taken from his home, sold on an auction block, and held hostage in this nice family?
Yes, but does that make it right for him to murder the family?
It seems like what if this would have been a white child? What if a white child had been held hostage? Wouldn't he be justified in doing whatever it was necessary to free himself?
Well, I never looked at it that way.
Seems like you've taken this nice family in Captain Gomez's story because they were Portuguese, because they were white. What if instead we identified with the true hero in the story, the child?
Well, I never looked at it that way.
Imagine if every kidnapped child felt so empowered to fight for their own life.
Objection, Your Honor, at 80 years old, to Martin the Bohemian, his story he told through a translator from his Portuguese into German and Latin, and please. His days have been challenged by all his colleagues, even the ones who were Portuguese. The names and the places he gave are all wrong. His manuscripts doctored. Need I go on?
Sustained.
I am Captain Gomez, going down in history. I will be remembered, so listen now to me.
Thank you, Captain Gomez. That will be all. You've spoken to motive to Prince Henry's call. You've showed the black slave trade predated the prince. Nothing invented, not then or since. Prince Henry had sent him to Pine Prester John, the African priest, king of black Christendom, the legendary kingdom, rich and well armed, to join forces against old Islam. But if it is places and dates that you need, I call my next witness whose testimony has stood up to scholars, the true test of time.
Captain Carter Mosto, won't you please rise?
Captain Catamosto, how did Prince Henry receive you upon your return from your first voyage? Was he pleased to see so many new slaves?
At least the Catamosto, woo! At least the Catamosto, woo!
It's Catamosto, my lord, returning with good word and bounty to be sure from Black Africa. Got 100 new slaves. For 7 horses we paid. We tapped into the trade in Black Africa.
There's a price that must be paid.
For all the months you had to wait, you must be loving this parade.
Captain and crew, No Prester John breakthrough. I told you when I hired you what I want you to do.
With 100 slaves in the hold, we couldn't be too bold. But mysteries we did unfold in Black Africa.
But would you know that this was wrong?
The known world we went beyond, charting as we went along.
North Star almost lost. We discovered the Southern Cross. New distances we crossed every day. South of the river Senegal, they thought we were cannibals. So we sent them some cannonballs and sailed away.
Landing had to be deterred.
Landing would have been preferred, but landing had to be deferred.
Beyond the desert shores, beyond the tawny moors, lay the fertile shores of Black Africa. Rolling hills and thunder, a verdant land of wonder, the wealthy land down under, Black Africa.
We couldn't let them come ashore.
We knew there had to be much more, at least we were pretty sure.
Let me be crystal clear. Next time you come back here, I want a Prester John discovery. Yeah! Red skies in the morning. Sailors all take warning. A new day is dawning. Discovery.
Age of discovery.
The mission you are on is to discover Prester John.
This is the age of discovery.
This is the
Age of discovery.
It sounds like Prince Henry was not pleased. Captain Catamosto, with Prince Henry's reprimand fresh in your ears, were you then able to focus the crew of your second voyage on the search for Prester John?
Objection! This line of questioning is irrelevant. It doesn't matter why Henry wanted the money, to search for some holy grail, or to line his pockets. He invented race because it was profitable.
If you will please allow me to continue, I intend to show that Prince Henry's motive was religious and free from greed.
Sustained. Captain Catamosto, will you please answer the question?
Down below the decks were dying, acting like animals.
Cutting edge technology, gotta love these caravels.
Back home our kids are crying, but it's worse than all their fears.
Their native tongue is just beyond what our interpreters can hear.
Objection. The prosecutor is tampering with my witness.
Sustained. Mr. Prosecutor, please wait for your turn to cross-examine the witness.
Gotta set a course for Europe, gotta bring the good news back, gotta head directly
into the wind, over the sea. Our great Portuguese fleet, our destiny, sailing beyond where we've ever been. We were born to sail into the
We returned to the Gambia River, upstream to resume our search. Made peace with Batamasa, the king who fought us at first. We asked about a Christian kingdom, had they heard of Prester John? No one knew, they just suggested, maybe he's further on. But we went too far upriver, fever hit and we withdrew. Yes, we had to sail directly into the wind, over the sea. Our great Portuguese fleet, our destiny, sailing beyond where we've ever been. We were born to sail into the wind. Yes, we were sent exploring in search of Prester John. Prince Henry was on a mission. What mission were we on? The allure of easy slaving is pretty hard to resist. Coming home with piles of money in every sailor's fist.
But the victors write the lyrics, and we all just sing along, as if they were the first to sail
Into the wind, over the sea. Our great Portuguese fleet, our destiny, sailing beyond where we've ever been. We were born to sail into the wind.
Ha ha, good trouble.
That's that man doing what's right in the righteous fight.
Good trouble.
He couldn't just let me finish, could he? For everything, there's a place and time.
Rules are to be broken when they're lied.
I know what you're
If
saying,
you're
bro.
gonna do what's right,
Do what's right.
what's right, and the rules don't align.
Do what's right.
Just set the rules aside.
Do what's right.
I'm gonna talk about a truth that's unspoken. The way we've been taught that keep our black communities broken.
Tell him, bro.
They teach us not to be woken. Right way is the right way.
right, brother.
While we keep falling for the same okie doke, while they erase us to our dismay.
Well. You ain't lying, bro.
And let's be real, when you see a young black man approaching, what do you assume is on his mind?
I don't make up stories.
You know that's right.
I mind the business that is mine.
Okay. All right.
And cross your street and clutch your purse, I bet. Avert your eyes. Well, it's not exactly your fault or my fault. It's in the water, yours and mine.
Do what's right.
Stop being a part of the system.
Do what's right.
Yes, I know.
Do what's right.
uttermost, oh my Lord, returning with good word, discoveries and more from Black Africa.
If you're here to see the prince, we haven't seen him since the Pope called for defense of Constantinople.
His father said he missed the call to the crusade. For on this trip we made, we need to join without delay.
Fools! You were on a crusade. We've entered the age of discovery.
Discovery, discovery, discovery.
Counsel for the defense, do you have questions for your witness?
No, Your Honor, I'm good.
Counsel for the defense, will you approach the bench?
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't seem quite yourself all of a sudden. Are you feeling okay?
Actually, Your Honor, I'd like to be excused from the case.
I will now see the counsel for the defense and the counsel for the prosecution in my chambers, and you too. Can someone please tell me what's going on here?
Like a little kid, my old creation myth told me who I was, where I belonged. You placed the chalice here, right down in front of me. I didn't want to take it, not at all. And then I tasted it. I took a little sip, and then I took a longer draw. And then it dawned on me that I was hanging on. I thought, oh no,
Oh yeah,
oh no,
here comes the light.
my story blinded me, rose up defiantly to any challenge.
Now you know.
Now I see it's not a threat to me. Yes, this story has got to go. I never thought that I would rationalize the evidence. I never thought I was that kind. But then you caught me out relating to the other side. Set me free, set me free, set me free.
I tried to cut a deal
Hey,
before we started here. All he had to do was just admit it. Our hair is full of pride. He prefers suicide. He would sooner die than say he did it.
If we should lose this thing, come time for sentencing, reparations are on the table. So now the stakes are high, not just one nation's pride. Henry will take us all down if he is able. I've been getting it wrong. Now I'm getting it right. So for defense, get back to work and be professional. Just do your job.
Yes, Your Honor.
I feel like Samson, yeah. The judge just cut my hair. I know it will grow back. I'm just reeling. She thinks that I'm that kind, but justice must be blind. Take me to the pillar so I can feel them.
Thank you all so much for being here. We're going to take a brief, transition moment. Feel free to get even closer. And just keep inviting you closer. And then everyone here, grab a chair, and then if you could set up your chair in that same semicircle. But just up on the stage. Rather than-
Don't worry, that hasn't changed.
Okay.
Check. Nice job, Bob.
Yes.
Go Baker, everyone.
Go Baker experience.
Yeah, check him out.
Bo Baker boy band.
Check him out at breweries around town. Yes, he's a heck of a performer.
All right, I'm just handing out some microphones so that we can more easily
Is it still
use
on?
them.
That's
No,
still-
that'll be on. That'll catch stuff. There's four, right? There's three. There's four. Just for you guys to chat. Okay. I'm gonna open us up again one more time with just a brief centering breath to get us going. So please take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a second. Let it out through your mouth. Two more at your own pace. I know some people, so I see your hand, and Randy will see you too. Just an indication to Randy, so that you can just make sure that he's gonna bring the mic to you. But I'm gonna open it up with two questions to get us started, and I'd love to hear from the most amount of people kind of right away. And here's my notes right here. All right. Question number one, was there a moment that shifted how you were thinking or feeling, and what happened in that moment? What might be helpful is if you remember what's happening on stage, maybe a lyric or a line that sparks an emotional shift inside of you, but also what was that emotional shift? And I'd love to hear from a bunch of people on this one.
It was when my dad had that really deep voice.
That's the best part of the show.
Because
Yeah.
I never thought that he would ever bring up that deep voice, and he told me that he would do it, and I did not believe him.
But he has the
I have
high
a
voice
range.
too. He has
Oh, boy.
The whole slaves for profit portion, that was pretty good. I feel like, yeah, I feel like maybe there's more in the previous parts of the play, I don't know. But I feel like when the captain or someone brought up slaves for profit, no matter what the reasoning was, that kind of shifted my opinion from the start where he was talking to his mama.
Can I see 5 hands, just so I know where the...
No, there was a hand right here. A couple hands over here.
Okay, that's next.
Okay.
Go ahead, yeah.
I guess the shift for me was hearing the two different captains, going on and on about, their voyage and how it's like this very like white point of view. And it was like making me more and more angry because then the ancestors would chime in their part. I'm like, yes, 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 I want to hear more. And they kind of were dueling back and forth and kind of getting this sense that I felt like the white voice had more, they were given more space a lot. And I'm like, no, shut up. Like, let the ancestors tell their side. So I thought that was very emotionally powerful. And if that was the intended, effect, you were looking for, you got it. Because I was like, yeah, like, sit down, let the ancestors sing. So that was mine.
Mine was when the microphone was snatched. It was like, okay, it's about to get good now. Let truth be told. And if I was going to recommend something at that moment, that would have been a perfect time to have a set of drums. Drums that represent Africa, just go bonkers.
Yeah.
Bill.
So the hero of the murdered family script flip.
The script flip in the murdered family story. Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments as well, actually.
Also, when you, yes, you were, singing about, black culture and, saying, I wasn't, paying attention during, the whole thing. I just blanked out.
But you liked it. But he was good, the bailiff. Yeah.
Maybe I'd like to throw it to the cast for a second. Can everyone, it doesn't have to be down the line in a particular order, but was there an emotional shift for you when you were sitting with this for the last week? Because most of you have really only been sitting it for about 7 days, some of you for longer. What was the emotional shift for you, and what was, maybe speak a little bit on what was maybe the preconceived, and maybe just, did anything specifically rise up that was conscious, or was it like a subconscious, like, okay, something in here felt right, but I'm not sure how to say it, like, just sort of give voice to what that shift was. Anyone want to go first?
I'll go first because I made a kind of a, shoot, where's the stuff? Yes, that part, yeah. So when it originally was sung, it was like through the crew members, and then the last part where the Victor wrote the lyrics, I thought that should have been more of the African ancestors because it was their time to actually speak and say like how they're feeling. Also, just like it just felt better because it's like they're writing our story and we're just here to sing it. You know, we don't have an input on it. So that was my input.
It was a good input, yeah.
I could say what shifted me pretty much was my whole entire role, being the bailiff, which he, in history, still is a person of color, but also he's a little bit more privileged to speak his mind in those times. So, I mean, that shifted me just with his whole input with Sophia and, you know, trying to give her a message at first with just giving a little bit of opinion, but then, okay, you're not getting it just yet, so let's give you a song really quickly, you know? But then again, you still don't get it just yet, so stop being a part of the system and just do what's right, I mean, at the end of the day. And, I mean, it kind of dawns on me, being a generation that comes from walkouts and riots and things like that, being able to actually have a little bit of a voice growing up, it kind of put me back and reminded me what generation I came from. So, I mean, that's what kind of shifted me. It kind of just gave me that, you know, that run back around really quickly, you know.
What always stands out to me is the sort of juxtaposition between that Into the Wind and all that. It's all sweet, it's very lullaby-esque, but then they're talking about war and slavery. And so I think the sort of two worlds running together in that, where it feels all, you know, a mother-son touching moment, like, aw, but no, not really. And I love that, yeah.
Yeah, along with that, I think the opening, I agree that the microphone rip is that's like, it pulls you out of this like this imaginary world where everything was sweet, and that's what you know, the idea of the people who still celebrate Henry in Portugal. He's still, I don't remember if you shared this, yeah, there's still statues up to Henry in Portugal. He's still a celebrated figure. And so, but it kind of rips you out of that world, literally, rips you out of the world. And so, yeah, I think that's really effective. And then also to your point earlier, like the shift, it's like the African ancestors, they're in the back, and then at some point they can't do it anymore, and then come out with do what's right, and then the end, and it's like, yeah, this is what should be happening at this point. But that wasn't like in the original version. We didn't have a lot of that. There's been like a couple of remounts of that. We didn't have all of that, a lot of that section. And I wasn't sure what I thought was missing, but now it's clear what was missing. And yeah, it was really, I think that's really effective.
For me, little backstory. The four of us have been involved. These three longer than I have. I came into the show and essentially the process in October. And Randy asked me to join in the writing process because that voice, those voices, that energy was lacking, which, no offense to you and Doug, but two old white men writing a story about this, about Henry the Navigator and the effects of on Africans coming into the new world, what we call the Americas, is not going to have that, you know. So it was, when I was asked to do that, I was like, okay, I'm not coming in to help them do that. I'm here to bring it in as uncomfortably as I possibly can. And yeah, in fact, that action is something that just kind of came to me as they were sitting down making the transition, and you know, we just, you know, decided it's just a technical thing. You'll do a handoff, but what would the effect be if I just snatched it out of his hand and like, this whole story is full of nonsense. What are we doing here? Let's stop all the nonsense and let's like get to the real truth of it, which in the first act you're gonna see a lot of that. And the pushing of, so as Coltrane said earlier, the first act is all about the prosecutor making his case. And the second act will be all about the defense attorney making her case in advocation of Prince Henry. But still, I'm still working, and bringing in, you know, yes, this whole story and her arc is invoking our African ancestors, but then it's my job to go, okay, she's not gonna take control of it, I am. And those actions are what were major turning points for me, and I hope those translated to all of y'all.
Colton, we got one out here whenever you're done with the panel.
Yeah, let's hear from Paul.
Two things. First question was, did you add 2 new tunes?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's new material. And my sense, because I was involved with the first production or workshop.
Hi.
And my sense of proportion of quality songs that the ancestors need to have, so that's the correct proportions, the beauty of the song, the intensity of the song, the quality of the song. I really like the direction you're going with it. I really do. I think because you know, you have a unique opportunity to say the words, sing the words, say what needs to be said, speak truth to the whole story that's documented, right, historically. And I'd say just keep leaning that way, man. I like that. The other thing that I thought was really thin was the defense case. It didn't last very long, does it? Right.
Look, I tried my best to sell it.
No, but you were a witness. You were 2 witnesses, and you got good songs. But I meant the defense case is just pretty short, right?
Historically, yeah.
Ain't much there. And like I said, I just love that you got new tunes and the right part of the cast is singing.
Paul Porter, he's also a local gigging musician, plays around quite a bit. Excellent songwriter, Paul Porter.
We have one here.
Yeah, we had one in the front here.
Randy.
Breaking down the story of the black boy that killed the white family and reversing it, instant, to me, the telltale of the whole story. It's kind of like, because it's still present day. If we can't see that, what is it called? Shah, help me, you always do. What am I trying to say? It's still to this day, if we have all these problems racially, but if you could look through the lens of someone else, of other people, which that story told, it's just like, oh, that's different, or that feels different, or for whatever reason. I think you guys brought that out very well, and to me, it helped me really get the whole story.
I would say you could bring that out even more. You know, bring out the story of the boy who killed the white family and how the transformation happened. It started to happen with the defense attorney. It started to happen there. Because that, I think, that's, for me, that's the initial, where do I begin in examining this, right? So.
And I have to say that my emotional turning point with this piece, I came into the week pretty anxious and feeling kind of aloof about it, especially being someone who is from that new world that's going to get hit with this same stick in about 80 years. And, and playing these captains. And the emotional turning point for me was actually very meta. It was working on that piece of the script. After, I think, one rehearsal, I woke up with clarity about parts of the script and the interaction between Sophia and the bailiff that had been bothering me since I received them a week before. And I, again, was anxious, wrote the email, hit send, and Randy was 100% sincere about, give us feedback, take this thing and shake it around. And I think you're right. We could let that impact sit even more. But Randy was quick on it, taking suggestions, tightening the thing up, leaving the beginning of the interaction open to the audience's interpretation. So you've just been hit with that reversal. And then the bailiff and Sophia spend a couple of lines not naming her emotions, not naming what you might be feeling, making you sit with it. And I thought that was really powerful. And then, and just that we were able to do that was amazing to me.
Just to play on that very thought now, what if when the defense attorney, Shar, you did just such a good job with your body and your face and the way that you changed, we got that. But what if you fought back a little bit more and didn't change so fast? But, this was a century of the wrong things going on. If you were to just stretch that a little bit maybe so that we struggle and then we go, with you a little bit more. But your face and that song was so good and really helped us just get over that shift right there. That was very clear, but fight it a little more, I would say, yeah.
After this, I have two more questions that I just want to throw out, and if there's any final thoughts, we'll wrap up here in about 5 minutes.
I really liked how, at that point, when the defense attorney was like, I can't do this anymore. This is just too much for me. Or the judge is like, okay, listen, you can be uncomfortable about this. That's a you thing. Your client deserves this. Get to work and do your job. That whole interaction, I really enjoyed that, because so often, walking around in a white body, you can be in that whole, I'm uncomfortable with this, and people kowtow to you on it. So having the judge stand there and just be like, no, your client, regardless of how you feel about that, deserves to have what he's represented for. But also going beyond just this, that has to happen in the real world too. A client deserves to have the representation that they have gotten. So I think that part, I really enjoyed that interaction there.
So final two questions that I want to pose to y'all is, what questions are you still sitting with after watching this whole thing? Questions that might be related to, are we going to see this in Act 1, or are these people going to change, are they not going to change, or whatever your questions might be. And then just tacking one final thing to close this all out. Did anything challenge or surprise you? So we want to get just hands up so that Randy...
I got the mic right here.
Yeah. If you can put up your hands so that Randy can see where that mic is going to go a couple people down, so that we're not like one. But if we can kind of get a count, then we can kind of brace with it and exit this. So, thank you.
Along with the awareness, to be challenged with what next, or what could we do? Just something about challenging the audience. When we leave, sure, we got the particulars, but How can we challenge ourselves? How can we challenge our thinking to change?
I'm going to get to you in just a minute.
Well, there was that one line where she says about the cannibals and cannonballs, and I thought, oh my, that's so clever. And then I thought, oh shoot, that's
Success!
yes. And the way she said, oh, they thought we were the cannibals, you know. And so then that was all just that was, I was like, oh, there's a little humor, and there's like, oh no. So thank you, that was great.
Okay.
Yeah? You want to say something? Okay. So I was wondering, with what we're probably going to see in Act 1, maybe, I don't know, because I've never seen this, will the character that's playing as my dad, will he just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna pull out some drums and just play drums the whole time? Because I want that to happen so bad.
Umar drum solo.
Did you have inside information about this?
At present moment, no.
Yeah,
There will be
Umar,
other
whatever
people
did
doing
happen
that.
to that cajon?
So I love a good transformation story. And, you know, we got it with the defense attorney. Are there more transformations in this? And then that's one question. And then also following up on gentleman's comment up there, what do we do next? Give us something, leave us with something that says, this question is for you, the audience, not just the defense attorney.
So that's the ruse there. It is y'all. You are the jury.
So that comes out in Act 3?
Yeah. Oh, at the end of Act 2.
That we do in Act 1, we tell you, you are the jury. Until you didn't see that part.
You've got to pick for jury duty. This is jury duty.
Excuse me, just a second.
I think it'd be a little bit helpful to actually have two different people playing the captains, because that was a little confusing, even with the hat changes. So I think that would make it a little bit broader, and I would like to see a little bit more interaction between some of the characters, and maybe a few more witnesses or something.
I'm sorry, we're going to get somebody who hasn't commented yet, and I'm going to get back to you.
I'm curious that with the kind of the falling down or the collapsing of the defendant, how you will be able to tell a story that won't be just a foregone conclusion that the jury is going to vote the right way. It's pretty, I mean, at this point, it's like, well, okay. I mean, there's no case. There's no case. If the defendant won't, there's no case. So it's like a foregone conclusion that we're going to, how we're going to come down as a feeling human being.
I agree with that, and actually, just because, I mean, again, the captains, for instance, are a big part of the case, but they're also kind of silly, and I think that they're probably, yeah, maybe there's something that could happen. That, I mean, they're kind of funny songs and they're kind of goofy guys, but like something to like maybe solidify, try to make a more serious case. I feel like maybe there's still something that can happen there to make a more serious case for the defense, to make it more, the audience more conflicted at the end.
Yeah.
Because I think it sets it up for pretty obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot in the conflict, particularly between Henry and Cadamosto, like the thing I think that and I haven't seen Act 1, but the thing that the script still doesn't really bring out is that this is very important to the myth of Henry the Navigator and also of the colonization of Latin America, that they're allowed to do this. The Pope allows them to do this. This has legal and religious support because it's for converting. It's for making new Christians. It's for rallying support for the Crusades, like, and not for profit and not for colonization. And that is a thing that the myth is built on, and that Sophia, as a Portuguese nationalist, really believes, and that, I mean, maybe, I don't know if Henry believed it. I bet, he and his mom probably were true believers. They're talking about astrology. It's just a very different worldview than what we have, which is also why it's like the captains are undermining that story, but I think we don't have that story established for a contemporary audience, for a jury just yet.
Yep, we have to do the whole play now.
Clearly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Pass it to your brother, man. Pass it to your brother right quick.
Are you serious?
Pass it to your brother right quick.
Your dad said.
If we're the jury, are we going to be able to pick guilty or not guilty? Yeah. All right.
A follow-up to that question. If we're the jury, can we pick who gets to sing California Girls?
It's not part of the show.
I was going to say, the question about any other transformations, right after this, there actually is an interesting scene where Henry gets directly put on trial. And although he doesn't transform, there's like this, he gets super defensive. They make him think about it more. And I think it's the next scene is very interesting to see how it plays out. So I don't know if there's necessarily another transformation, but they really put him on the spot big time. And yeah. And so right. But he's thinking about it.
He digs his heels in, really. Yeah. Henry digs his heels in, and in the first act, which you haven't seen, Zuara, who is the person who wrote all the stories and came up with the sense of racism and the racist class system and everything. I drill him to absolution, and there is a tense back and forth with his testimony and my examination of him. That there is a big challenge there that gets played out hugely. So yeah, something to look forward to when we bring this into full production in next month or next few months or a year. Not month. Few months. We ain't done yet.
News to me.
All right, so I'd like to honor everyone's time here by wrapping up. Do we have a couple of more indications? Mike's or no? Did anyone say, oh, pick me?
I would just like to say thank you to all these people who gave most of this last week to this play. And they nailed it. They brought these people to life. And for me, this is just a dream. Tonight, you guys just nailed it. So I'm really proud of you.
Randy Baker for writing the show, Coltrane for directing, and Doug Weatherhead back here for throwing in those lovely harmonies.
Those dissonant harmonies.
They were not easy, but they were gorgeous in their own strange way, and in Doug's own strange way. But they were perfect. Yep,
And
exactly.
a big shout out to Coltrane for running the show as director.
Yes.
As well as Bo, as well too. The guitars on the good acoustic. Yes.
Bo Baker.
Yep.
stand in front of him and just say, hey, this is what I really thought. I didn't want to say it, but I didn't want to. Please talk at him. He is a wonderful listener. He will incorporate what your thoughts are, and it'll be in the next draft. So, so thank you so much for your time. And with that, we are good to go.
Adjourned.
Meeting, court is adjourned.
Bailiffs, take them out.